Now, welcome to our class for manage banquets and events. I can see that we have a good number already in our class, and I'm going to be your presenter, Utiano Steven, and I hope that each one of you is able to see whatever is on my screen. I have a slide there, and I can see we have quite a number you already on. I hope you are not able to see my screen right now. Can you see my screen now? Okay, great. Let us carry on. As I said that our class of the day is manage banquets and events, and our first topic is on events. We are going to look at the introduction to events management. And basically, to begin with, may I ask a question, pose a question, and I'll ask whosoever knows just to raise up his or her hand to try and attempt that question. Now that we are all hospitality majors, where hotels perform or forms the core component of the hospitality industry, which are the main products that are usually offered by hotels? So kindly, if you know the answer, just raise up your hand if you want to try. Okay, Madam Jerry, yes, you can try.
We have food and accommodation.
We have, kindly repeat.
Food
Mm-hmm.
and accommodation.
Yes, thank you for that trial. Well, the basic or the main services provided by hotels are three. One, as you've said, is food. Number two, we have drinks. Number three, of course, we have accommodation. But there is a fourth product that is usually offered by hotels, and that is the functions. Now, our unit is on events management. Event is all about functions. That is to mean that this is one of the core products that is offered by hotels globally. And remember that this service is not only offered by hotels, but we have other hospitality players who specializes only in the provision of function services. Now, I want us to move on and to look at the definition of certain terms that are usually used in this unit of events and banquet management. And we're going to begin by defining the term event. Remember that event as a term is defined variously, and today we're going to look at the perspective from the organizers or the guests side. And according to a certain gentleman by the name Godwin in the year 2006, he defined event to mean the specific rituals, presentations, performances, or celebrations that are conscious planned and created to mark special occasions and to achieve particular social, cultural, or goals. And all events have purpose. It could be for social reasons, as I said, it could be for business reasons or any other. So whatever we and remember, for you to take part in an event, it cannot be individual. You must have other players also on. And that means that events are products that are consumed by a group or group of people. Now, the second term is on banquets. And banquet simply refers to those events that have foods provided in them. And I hope that all of us, at one point or the other, have attended different banquet events. It could be maybe a birthday and it's food there. It could be a certain party with food provided. Remember that food is not like then an event. We can never call that as a banquet. It will remain to be an event. Events generally they need not really to have food provided, but banquets must have food provided. So let's go and look at some of the ways that we use to classify events into types. And when we are classifying events into types, we have several ways that are usually used. And the first one is on the scale and the impact. In the scale and impact, we may end up with such events as mega events, we have hallmark events, we have major events, and local events. Now, the second base of classifying events into types is on form and on screen. And based on form and content, we have the cultural celebrations, we have arts and entertainment, we have this business and trade fairs, we have sporting events such as maybe the World Cup, it is for people taking part in some kind of day. We also have scientific and educational events as well as political state events. Actually, you realize that people are the campaign and they are holding years across the country. Remember that such events are identified that remember the main decisions is just to get people that get for some political. So the content basically is to promote certain political ideals. That is why we classify that as a content-based event. Another base of classifying events is on according to the level level that are to a particular destination. And then we may have events that always take place in the same community over there. It is referred to as community events. We can have those that always take place maybe within a specific region. So the local event, we hear of different holding different events, the food, the Turkana ones, and such events. We refer to them, for example, we refer to one, for example, as a Turkana event. It means that there is some value that it brings to that destination. You cannot go and hold, for example, a Lamu event in Malindi. Those are two different regions. So a Lamu event must be held in Lamu, and a Turkana event must be held in Turkana. A Nairobi event must be held in maybe within the Nairobi region. The other category, as you can see, can Eunice read for us what you are seeing on my screen, what I'm pointing at? That type of the base used to classify event. Yes, Eunice, is just unmute yourself and then read for us what you're seeing on my screen, what I'm pointing at. Yes, kindly, we are not getting you. Oh, we've lost Eunice, but we can carry on. It's on profit orientation, and based on profit orientation, we may have two main types of events. That is the profit or the commercial events and the non-commercial events. And the last criteria for classifying events into types is occasion, and based on occasion, we may have formal events and informal events. I hope that Eunice will be back in a moment. Now, I want us to proceed to the next area and look at uh, the occasions as a basis of classifying events and establish the specific ones, which of course we've already identified as formal and informal. But now, what do we mean when we talk of formal events? Now that Eunice is back, she can read for us the meaning of formal events. Kindly, Madam Eunice.
Formal events are sometimes called banquets, and they include as well as wedding breakfasts.
Great, great. What about the other type of events based on occasion?
We have buffet receptions, that is informal events, and these ones cover the wedding receptions, the cocktail parties, buffets, teas, dances, anniversary parties, as well as conferences.
Okay, thank you for that. Let's look at the last bit of our class today. That is, other than the basic basis which we've looked at so far on classifying events, remember that events can be classified in other ways as well. And we're going to look at three main ways that may be used to classify events into types. And the first one is on social dimension. And under social dimension, we have events such as the diners, the dinner, the luncheons. We have receptions, we have cocktail parties, charity dinners, among others. And then the other category or base of classifying events is on public relations, and based on that we may end up with events such as press parties to launch a new product. We can have fashion shows or parades, exhibitions, we have seminars. And then the last base that we are going to look at this day is on, and we have different types of conferences. We're having a political conference, a trade union, training seminars, national, international events, sales conferences, as well as academic conferences. Now, this for today is going to mark the end of our presentation. Now, to this far, is there anybody with any question? If you have a question, kindly just raise up your hand. Oh, yes, Madam Eunice.
Where do we usually classify events such as national, say Independence Day?
Okay, national or when we are celebrating, for example, the Madaraka Day, the or Jamhuri Day, is that what you are referring to?
Yes, please.
Okay, such an event could be. Remember that we can even use a scale, and since it's more of a Kenyan event. For instance, Jamhuri Day, when we celebrate Jamhuri Day in Kenya, Ugandans are not doing that. Tanzanians are not doing that. So that could be more of it's more of a Kenyan event. Therefore, we may, as I said, use the scale of the event to classify it.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Any other question? Well, if there is no any other question, I'm going to send to you the assignment via our LMS. So kindly check on the LMS before the day ends. Otherwise, thank you and be blessed. Hope to see you next time in our next class.